Welcome to the tutorial for the GoPro Hero8 Black. In this video, I'm going to help you get your camera set up and share some of my favorite tips and tricks along the way so that you can get out there and start recording amazing footage with your new camera. I've written a book for the Hero8 Black that'll be really helpful for you if you're just getting to know your new camera. There's a link in the video description below so you can go get your copy. So let's get started with the Hero8 Black. So let's get your new camera set up so you can get out there and start filming with it. The Hero8 Black is an awesome little camera. It's waterproof to 33 feet deep, it's small and convenient to carry, it's got tons of great modes to use, and it's got stabilization throughout all of the video modes so that everything you film is just smooth and easy to watch. Now just turn your camera around. It's mounted on this little plate here. We're going to remove it from there. So lift up this little tab here and then squeeze together these two tabs while pushing the camera this way. It'll slide off that little mount. We're also going to remove the sticker from the touchscreen on the back here. That was just for display. So you can just take that sticker off. Now let's remove the camera from this mounting buckle. Just take this thumb screw and unscrew it. Turn it counterclockwise until it comes out here. It'll come out just like that. And then you can lift the camera straight up off of the mounting buckle. You'll see here, this is a new feature of the Hero8 Black. The camera actually has these little mounting fingers, they're called, and they're built into the camera. You used to have to use a different frame to mount the camera, but now you can mount the camera directly, which is really convenient. And when you don't want to use them, you can just fold them up. They're kind of magnetic, they just stick up like that. So just fold those up so you can set your camera down. On the mounting buckle here, there's also one extra piece of plastic that was on there for packaging. It says remove on it. So if you just flex it from one side, you can just pop it right off of there. Just like that. And that's how the mounting buckle is supposed to look. Go ahead and grab the box that your camera came mounted on and let's check out what's inside here. So when you open it up, there's some paperwork on top here. This just tells about GoPro Plus, which is good to know about because you can get your camera replaced if you break it for a small fee. You also get cloud storage and you get 50% off mounts at GoPro's site. So you can try it free if you want. It's about $5 a month. Otherwise, just wanted to inform you so you know about it. Under this compartment here is the rest of the accessories that came with your Hero8 Black. This right here is the Hero8 Black battery. You can see there's a blue stripe at the bottom of it. This battery was designed for the Hero8 Black, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute. It's a charging cable here to charge your camera. It comes with one curved adhesive mount, which is curved on the bottom. We'll talk more about that later too. And this kit came with a microSD card. So some of the kits come with a microSD card, some come with a bonus microSD card that's not inside the box, and then some of them don't come with it at all. But we'll go over that too in just a minute, because you do need a microSD card for your camera. So let's get the battery inserted and a microSD card. Go ahead and grab the battery, the charging cable, and if your kit came with a microSD card, grab that. If your camera didn't come with a microSD card, you need to buy a Class 10 or a UHS-1 microSD card. And it's important that you get the right microSD card that can keep up with the large video files on the GoPro camera. Otherwise your camera might freeze up and you don't want that to happen. Also, the ones that come with the camera are just 32 gigabytes. So you're going to want to get a bigger microSD card anyways. The battery and the microSD card go under this door here on the left side of the camera. To open that door, you just lower this tab here at the bottom of the door. And you'll see a little red tab there. And then you open the whole door just like this. If you go too far, the door will just pop off. So you don't want to do that. It's made to come off and that's okay. But right now you're just trying to put the battery in. So if it comes off, you just line up that groove with the metal bar and snap it back on. So you're going to want to put the microSD card in first and have the writing facing the back of the camera. If you put the battery in first, it's pretty hard to get that microSD card in there. So you just slide in that little slot there and push it down with your fingernail until it snaps into place. Next, take the battery, so both GoPro logos are facing you, and insert it with the blue side into the camera and slide it in until it's flush with the little compartment here. Now take the small end of the USB cable and plug it into the USB-C port on your GoPro here. Plug the other end into a computer, a USB power pack, or a wall charger. The computer is the slowest method. GoPro says it can take up to 4 hours to charge using a computer, but if you plug it into a power pack or a wall charger, it's going to be about 2 hours. If you use a power pack or a wall charger, just make sure that it's got 5 volt and 1 to 2 amp output. You want the output to be correct for the GoPro battery so you don't do any damage to the battery. Once your camera starts charging, you're going to see a red light turn on here, and that just indicates that your camera is charging. That light will go off when the camera is fully charged. You can press pause on this video and come back when your camera is charged. This battery here with the blue on the bottom of it was designed specifically to work with the GoPro Hero8 Black. So you want to make sure you're using one of these batteries with your camera. If you have one of the older batteries from the Hero 5, 6, or 7, they will work with the Hero8 Black, but GoPro says some of the newer functions on the Hero8 Black might not work properly. I'm going to go ahead and play it safe and get an extra Hero8 Black battery so that I've always got one as backup. It's really nice when a battery goes dead, you can just swap it out, put in a fresh battery, and keep filming. Once the light's turned off and your camera's finished charging, you can just remove the USB port and close this side door. When you close the side door, just make sure this tab is still down and push the door down flush to the camera and then slide the tab up and lock it in place. Having this door closed is very important because it keeps your camera waterproof. So you always want to make sure if you're going in the water, you've got that door on there and closed securely. Now we can finally turn your camera on, do a one-time setup process, and we'll update your camera's firmware. So just press the power mode button here on the left side of the camera, and your camera will power on. Next, you can scroll to select your language. I'm just going to select English. Then you can push agree to the legal stuff. Turn on GPS. Now it's going to put us in the pairing mode for the GoPro app so we can update the camera's firmware. If you don't have the GoPro app yet, just go to the App Store and get this app here. It's free and it allows you to control your camera as well as transfer footage and update your camera's firmware. You can also edit videos there, so it's worth getting. Just go ahead and grab that. So once you've downloaded the GoPro app on your phone, just go ahead and open it. And then if you've already had cameras on there before, you're going to click on here, the plus symbol, to add a camera. Otherwise it's going to say to add a camera. It's going to prompt you. So just click on the plus symbol. It's going to look for your camera. Your camera's already in pairing mode because it automatically went to that screen there. So it found your GoPro. Just say connect camera. Allow it to pair using Bluetooth. So you can change the camera name if you want. I'm just going to leave it. Now it's downloading the camera update to the phone. After that's downloaded, we can transfer it to the camera wirelessly. Then it's going to go through the update process here on the camera. If you have any problems connecting and you need to put your camera back into pairing mode, just swipe down from the top of the screen, press Preferences, Connections, Connect Device, and select GoPro app. That'll put it back into pairing mode. You can just follow the prompts on your phone and follow the process through to update the camera's firmware. When you see a check mark on the phone and a check mark on the camera, then click Done on the app and we'll move on to the next step. Now I want to give you a little tour of the camera's touchscreen and how you can operate your camera. This here is the main screen when you turn on your camera, and right now it's in video mode. So if you see here, there's some icons on the top of the screen. That's for video mode, and if you want to switch modes, you can just swipe your finger across and it'll switch over to photo mode. And if you go the other way, it'll switch over to time-lapse modes, just like that. You can also press the side button here on the side of the camera, and that'll also switch modes. I'm gonna go back to video mode here. And on the screen here, you'll notice some other icons. Up in the top left corner here, that's the amount of recording time left on your microSD card at the current video settings. If you change the settings, that will change because different files require different amounts of storage. In the top right corner here is the battery life. It shows a little icon, and it also shows the percentage of battery life left. This here in the middle of the screen is the new settings presets that GoPro added to the Hero8 Black. It's a little bit hard to explain in this video because there are so many settings you can change. But as an overview, the settings are what you use to affect the quality of your photos and videos. And each one of these presets, you can save your favorite settings within one of the presets. So then when you want to go record, if you're changing activities or changing scenes, you can just tap on one of the different presets and your settings are ready to go. If you want to switch between presets, you just tap on it and you can select some of the other presets here. And you'll see there's 4 that come with the camera, and you can also add your own custom ones. If you want to customize a preset, you can just click on this little edit icon here and you can edit any of the settings here. You can also change your settings directly if you just hold down on the preset right here. If you just hold it down, it's going to go straight into the settings for that preset. And when you want to escape out of it, you can either click this arrow or you can click the button on the side of the camera. And that'll take you back to the recording screen. So these here on the left and right side of the preset are called the on-screen shortcuts. And these are also a new feature of the Hero8 Black because you can actually customize them depending on your preset. I'm not going to show you all of these because they can change and there's a lot of different options to use. but I will show you this one here. So this one here is boost, and that's a stabilization setting. There's a few different levels of stabilization on the Hero8 Black, and that's going to be the most smooth, but it's not available with all of the different video settings. I'm also going to show you this one here. This is called the digital lenses, and this is pretty cool to keep on your screen, especially for videos. You can just tap that. When you tap these, it's going to show you these little tips on how to use the touchscreen. I'm just going to skip those, but you can go back and look at those if you want to. You can just tap it and it'll go away. So right now it's on a wide field of view. If you tap the top one, it's going to be super view, which is a wider field of view. And then there's linear, which is more of a traditional look. It's got straighter lines. And then narrow is just a zoomed in view of linear, basically. So I'm going to go back to wide and then tap the screen. If you want all of these icons to go away so you can compose your shots, just tap the screen and they'll disappear. Tap it again and they can come back. I'm going to show you one more thing in the video settings here. If you just hold this down, if you go into the resolution in frames per second, that's going to adjust your video size and quality and the frame rate. So you'll see here, they put all the video settings together in one screen on the Hero8 Black. There's 2 different aspect ratios, which is basically the size of your video frame. You'll see some of them here have 4:3. That's more of a square box, like an old school TV. When you look at a 4:3 aspect ratio, it's going to be taller, and a widescreen is actually going to crop out the top and the bottom of that. Most of the videos we watch are in widescreen, but when you're mounting your camera close to you, sometimes it's nice to have that extra frame to get everything you want in the shot. When you want to start recording, you just press the top shutter button once here. Your camera will start recording. Press it again and the camera will stop recording. Now if you swipe over to photo mode, you'll see the presets here. There's different on-screen shortcuts because those are going to change depending on your preset. And there's also different shooting modes in photo mode. It's got photo, live burst, which is a new mode for the Hero8 Black, burst, and night photo. You can customize all these, but those are all different ways of just taking photos, different ways of recording. And if you go over to time-lapse mode, you'll see there's also different presets here, different ways of recording your time lapses. So there's time warp video for hyperlapses, there's time-lapse video, and there's night-lapse video. Once again, you can customize all those and save them the way you like to record. There's so many amazing ways to create content with each one of these individual modes, and I wish I could really dive into them here in this video, but it would just take so much time. But I do have each one of these modes covered in my book with creative tips and techniques for each one of them, so you can really get the most out of your camera. One more thing, if you swipe down from the top of the screen, that's going to show you the dashboard, so you can turn on and off certain items like voice control, the beeps, quick capture, where you just can start recording when the camera's off by pressing the shutter button here. You can also lock the screen, which is really important when you're in the water or if your camera's in your pocket so that settings don't get changed. You can use this grid icon when you're composing your shots. It's not really helpful when the camera's mounted, but if you're composing your shots, it gives you the little grid so you can kind of compose your shots better. You can also lock the orientation. So if you have your camera horizontal like this and you want to keep it like that, you don't want it to rotate vertically, you can just tap that and it's going to lock the screen in a horizontal view. You can also lock it vertical view if you rotate your camera first and then lock that screen. So you can just pull up from the bottom of the screen to exit out of there, or you can tap the side button again and back into recording mode. Then if you want to view your media, you just swipe up from the bottom of the screen and the latest video that you recorded will show up there. If you recorded in a slow-mo setting, there will also be a slow motion icon here. You can also tap on the grid icon here, and that'll show you all the files that you have on your camera's microSD card. I only have one file here right now, so it's only showing one. But if you had photos and other videos, you could scroll down and look at all of them. I'm going to press the side button to escape back to the recording screen. To turn the camera off, you just hold down this button for about 4 seconds. You'll hear it beep, and it'll say powering off on the front screen, and your camera will turn off. One of the great things about the Hero8 Black is the ability to mount it so easily. Mounting allows you to get new creative shots that aren't available with other cameras. So obviously you can use the camera just like this, but when you want to mount it, you just unfold these mounting fingers, and now your camera is ready to be mounted. This is a mounting buckle here, and you just slide the mounting fingers into the mounting buckle like that. Then you insert the thumb screw and tighten it in place. Before you tighten it, you might want to adjust your angle just like that, and when you have an angle you want, then tighten it very tight. One thing with the Hero8 Black is if you don't tighten the thumb screw tight enough, it might be a little wiggly like this. So you just want to make sure you tighten this thumb screw really tight, and then it's not going to wiggle. On some mounts like this one, which is the Flow by Microjib, it's an extendable waterproof handle. You just slide the camera directly in without using a buckle. So you slide it in, line up the holes, tighten the thumb screw, and just adjust your angle before you tighten it. Then you're ready to go. There are two types of adhesive mounts. This one came with your camera. This is a curved adhesive mount, and this is a flat adhesive mount. You'll notice the curved adhesive mount is more of a rectangular shape, and the bottom of it is actually kind of curved so it can match the curve of a helmet or sometimes a vehicle. The flat adhesive mount is more oval shape, and it's got a flat bottom on it, so it's good for flat surfaces. If you're using a mounting buckle, the mounting buckle will slide into a mounting base like this one. This is the curved adhesive mount that came with your camera. So you just lift the tab up on the back, slide it into the mounting base, push the tab down, and your camera is secure in that mounting base. When you want to use an adhesive mount, just make sure you match the adhesive mount to the surface that you're going to mount your camera to. Make sure it's a clean, non-flexible surface and non-greasy. Then set up your mount. You could try it with the camera on there just to see like the perspective you want to get. When you're ready to mount it, just peel off this red liner here. And this is the adhesive under here. So you just want to make sure you line it up so that the line here is the direction you're going to want your camera to be angled. Then you stick it down on the surface. Press it down really hard to get that adhesive to get tacky and stick to the surface. Then you want to let it sit for at least 24 hours before you use it. And after 72 hours, it's fully cured and it should be really stuck to the surface. The adhesive mounts are removable, but they're pretty hard to get off. They're more for permanent settings. Once the adhesive mount is cured, you can just insert the buckle, just like you would on any other mount. Insert the buckle, slide it in, press the locking tab down, and you're ready to film. If you're taking your GoPro in the water, I just want you to make sure you know that GoPro cameras don't float. So GoPro made this floaty for the Hero8 Black. It's a bit bulky, but it can work if you're going to put it on a surface where your camera might come off. The other option is to use a floating handle like this one that'll just float your camera, so you don't have to have that bulky floaty on your camera. I hope that helps you get started mounting your GoPro camera. I cover all of the GoPro mounts in my book, as well as a lot of creative ways to mount your GoPro camera. So if you want to dive deeper into that, that is also in my book. If you've already paired your camera with the GoPro app to update the firmware like I showed you earlier in this video, all you need to do is turn on your camera, then open up the GoPro app, and it should see your camera. If you didn't connect your camera to the GoPro app earlier, just swipe down from the top screen, go in Preferences, and under Connections, tap on Connect Device. You select the GoPro app, and it's going to put it into pairing mode. So here on the home screen for your camera, there's 3 items. Right now I'm going to go into Control Your GoPro and show you how to do that. And then just click Join. So once your camera is connected to the GoPro app, you can use the GoPro app just like you would the touchscreen on your camera. You can swipe between different modes. You can start and stop recording by pressing the shutter button here on the current mode you're on. Some of the modes won't show you preview, such as time-lapse mode and certain video resolutions. Then you can stop recording. It will still save it to your camera and you can view it on your phone after you record it. Up here you'll see a few icons just like you would on your touch screen. You can also touch this icon here, and this adjusts your basic camera preferences. Then you tap Done. You can go in here and change your settings. These are your camera presets just like on the touch screen. You can also go over and you can set up live stream. You can live stream to Facebook and YouTube at 1080p. You just got to set that up there. When using the GoPro app, you just want to make sure that you keep your phone relatively close to your camera because the connection is not very strong sometimes. You can see an icon here that shows the connection strength, but as you move about 20 feet away, you might just lose connection. And the most useful part of the GoPro app, I would say, is being able to transfer your photos and videos over to your smartphone. So to do that, you just tap on the icon down here. That's going to show you the media that's on your current microSD card. And you can tap on those, you can download them to your phone, and you can do some editing and share them with your friends and family really easily. If you want to transfer your photos and videos to a computer, I highly recommend you go on GoPro's website and under the Apps tab, download the Quik for Desktop app. Once you've downloaded the app, then just connect your camera to the computer using a USB cable and turn your camera on. The Quik for Desktop app will automatically recognize your camera and prompt you to import the files. Once you have your photo and video files inside the Quik app, you can pull photos from videos, and you can also add gauges to your videos if you use GPS when you recorded. It's an easy, simple way to keep your video and photo files organized. Once again, my name is Jordan Hetrick. There are so many useful tips and tricks and other information in the Hero8 Black book that it's impossible to cover in this video. There's a link for the book in the video description below, so go ahead and grab yourself a copy today. I'm so grateful for all of your support. Thanks for watching, and have fun with your new camera.